It's the Dave Master. Yes, you're back again with another banger. Shout out to all the new subscribers. The engagement has been pretty good. We want to keep growing the channel. We want to, open up this conversation and give you men and the women who choose to take away some of this game, take away some of this insight. Because all you have to do is ask a woman when it comes to dating from the man's perspective, right? Well, how many women have you dated? They'll look at you like a deer in the headlights, right? But this is one of the latest trends that you're going to see with I would call it, this is another segment of reverse narcissism. I've seen a lot of women have been lately have been speaking about men faking their personalities in the relationship, I guess. So after women spend 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, all the way up to 10 years plus with these individuals, and they, finally leave or whatever the case may be, the relationship dissolves. The women come out to say because it did not work or because she was the victim, as always, that he faked his personality. Now, one must ask, how can a man fake his personality for years and years and years? Or if he did fake his personality, right? Let's say he faked his personality. What did he fake his personality as? Because on one hand, we know nice guys finish last. We know this. When we seen countless videos of women openly admitting that they will leave or cheat on a guy if he's too nice, or they would leave a relationship in the gutter if he's too nice, or because it was boring. So if indeed he faked his personality, what kind of personality did he portray himself to be? But you have a whole rhetoric and narrative that women are smarter than men. So again, to see so many women in the comments agreeing and co-signing this narrative, doesn't that debunk the whole women are smarter than men narrative? Because to be smarter than is to not be easily fooled. It's like, how can a fifth grader get over on an adult? How can a seventh grader outsmart a grown adult with more experience, more knowledge, more education than said seventh grader? Because that's by definition saying I'm smarter than you. It's a gap. It's evident. Because if you look at the teacher-student dynamic, that's the teacher, that's the student. So if you're smarter, then that puts you in the teacher's position. So if you're being outsmarted by your students, and a woman will come in the comments to try to debunk this perfectly, this perfect analogy. If you're smarter, then by definition, you're in the leadership position. Because why would a smart person let a fool lead them? So let's go back to the teacher-student analogy. If the student is smarter than the teacher, then that teacher is unqualified and should be replaced. And then give the job to the seventh grader. So you say he faked his personality. Again, I asked, what did he fake himself to be? What did he do, or how did he behave in order to attract you and maintain you? These are the questions that's not asked. And a lot of the commentary that was from women was stating that when you get your emotions involved, I saw them sneaking that in. When you get your emotions involved, so I guess they were stating when you get your emotions involved, it kind of clouds your judgment, which we already know, right? So if your emotions are involved or attached to the fake personality, without you verifying that this is a real personality, how did this become exposed? Because there's a cause and effect to everything. When did you find out that he was faking? And how long after did you find out he was faking? Did you stay? Or did you confront him about, hey, you started off doing this, you stated you were about this, but you're not doing that? Okay. And she'll say, I'll say, you're right, ladies, you're right. Now, here comes the wrecking ball. For the women that agree with that, wouldn't it be a little bit more smarter to look at what he does on a consistent basis versus what he says. Because personality in a lot of cases is usually a lot of verbal communication. The affirmations, I love you, you're the only one, I want to take you out, you're beautiful. You accept these compliments freely, but what does the action show, or what did the actions prove prior to you committing? Because you could have easily left. See, I refuse to believe that women are just in these relationships bound and gagged and tied to a chair. That's not the case. In most, we're not talking about the Cassie and the Diddies, and even in that situation, you're talking 10 years. But a lot of these women who put themselves in a position to say a man faked his personality, even though she stayed for years, you have to ask, well, you also have a populace of women who stated if a man approaches her with dirty shoes on a date, she would leave. Just mere dirt on the shoes. The car wasn't new enough. His teeth wasn't white enough. He wasn't tall enough. They will drop them just like that and go on to the next. Also, you have a populace of women who have an inbox full of unread messages, unread DMs, some even read but not entertained. And they know what I'm speaking about. You got some that you open. He did not have the conversation or the charisma to speak to you in the manner in which you wanted to be spoken to. So it was cut short. You got them women on dating apps engaging men. It looks good. And then they ghost, or they find someone else. It's so easily for them to disqualify or get away from those guys in an instant. But in a relationship, for some reason, you're a hostage. But that's still not even the case when you look at the divorce rate, when you look at the breakup rate, when you look at the rate of infidelity. Because that's truly what fellas do. A woman doesn't break up with you when you lose contact with her. She doesn't break up with you when she moves her stuff out of the house or when you move your stuff out of the house. She breaks up with you when she loses respect for you. And she's going to prove that she's lost respect by her actions. She cheated on you. She broke up with you way before she cheated because that was premeditated. She had to pick the right guy. And more than likely, she cheated with the guy she wanted to cheat with. He was hand selected. He didn't jump in her inbox. She put herself in proximity, or she more likely, in a lot of cases, jumped in his inbox or gave, certain hints to, hey, I'm open for test driving. See, what I told you before, we're going to get into the fabrics, the deep threading in a lot of these conversations and dynamics with men and women in our thinking patterns, especially when it comes to relationships. What I've come to realize, and this is just my theory, that men and women alike, more so women, because you look at the engagement on social media, it is clearly dominated by women. Social media has overstimulated a lot of women to where it's gonna condition them to look at good as average or below average. It has to be superb from the dining experiences. We saw this with Cheesecake Factory, right? I don't eat Cheesecake Factory no more. Typing out that status, looking at a box of Church's chicken in her trash can. Looking at a box of Popeye's ghost wings in her trash can. She doesn't eat Cheesecake Factory. We can't go to, Gatlinburg, the mountains. We can't go here. We have to go to Tulum. We have to go to the DR. We have to go to Colombia. That's pretty much the standard. They've been overstimulated by social media and what they've seen for the last 10 years, which was merely a pissing contest. A man gets proposed, he's going to show out if he has the resources. No knock on him, but this is just explaining the woman's reaction to it or her emotions to it. You got to understand how women view a man whining and dining, proposing outside of a helicopter with 2 or 3 rings, a G-Wagon, a new home. You must understand how this triggers the woman's emotions. This is why social media can be very dangerous, because it's going to break her psyche. Normal is not going to be normal, or she's not going to feel she deserves normal. She thinks she's going to have to go way above that, because again, she still has the ego. Just look at the reverse narcissism that women use. Again, it's always a blaming and a shifting of blame. We never know what happened in the marriage. People lie. So if that's the case, you see these comments. You never know what happened. People lie. So if that is the case, that also applies to women. Unless women can substantiate every single occurrence that occurred in a marriage, when she gets on Kendra G's show or whoever's show, and they ask, well, what happened to your last relationship? Well, he was out here cheating. I was a homebody. I didn't agree with his lifestyle. He be trapping and having bowls, but I'm a homebody and a nerd. And what? What? You're a homebody. He's a trapper. You don't align with his lifestyle. But you gave him 2 kids, though. You did give him 2 kids, but your values didn't line up, right? This is the foolish things that you will see on the internet. Social media has overstimulated women, and when you look at what stimulates them, they go to seek that in real life. So if they see the trending guy, which is a certain archetype, whether he's dark skinned, tall, with locks, that is now going to be the target for the sensation that they felt by seeing women uplift him. The same way when you see women post the Louis purses and you see the comments, oh, I got to get, okay, that has been given value. So they're going to start to seek that in real life. See, this is a deep rabbit hole we must go into. This is a lot of psychology. This is why, as men, and this is where the good part comes in for you gentlemen, this is why you entertain the conversations, entertaining and having the conversations with women when it comes to dating, when you sense foolishness out of the gate, or you can kind of tell what the status is mentally. This is to gauge how far gone a lot of the women are. This is not to acquiesce or come to any type of compromise or any type of negotiation. This is just, it's like putting gas in your car. I need this information to assess. Okay, once you assess, and then you still operate in the way that works for you. Unless you meet a gem or a gift. That's rare. And I'll get into that in another video. But you don't continue having the back and forth. Once y'all are intimate, you continue doing what you're doing, because what you did or what you was doing got you the intimacy you were pursuing. It got her to buy in and fall in love, or whatever the case. So he didn't fake his personality, ladies. You faked yours. And if he did it multiple times, but you're smarter, you got to ask that question. Are you truly smarter than the man you're dating? Because that's what a lot of you want anyway. But you guys let me know what you think about this topic. Do men fake their personalities, or do women just lie to themselves? Make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, and leave a comment. Leave a suggestion. It's the Date Master.